Hey everybody, I'm Kathy.
And I'm Charmaine.
And we are back for another exciting video to give you an update on where we're at with the Jamaica property. We've been getting a lot of people reaching out to us saying, where are you guys? How's the process coming along? When can we see another video on, sort of your status, right, Charmaine?
Right. So, previously we have told you that we are in contact with architects, and over the past couple of months, we have been working with them, and they have finished everything that they need to do, master plan and drawing, and it has been submitted to the parish council. So now we're just waiting for the parish council to finish up with whatever their approvals are, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So we really wanted to talk through with you how and why we went about the process that we did, because there's really a couple of ways to do it. You can either, if you, want to build something in Jamaica, you can just go and get something, from an architect, like the drawings of that building or villa or whatever it's going to be. An architect will work with you on the design. They'll work with you on what those drawings will look like, and then you can take them to the parish council for approval. The other option that you have is to do that plus something called a master plan. And that's what we decided to do. We decided to do both. And I think there's benefits and reasons behind that we thought you might, gain some insight from. So maybe Charmaine, talk a little bit about just doing the drawings as an example.
All right. So previously I have worked on a property in Clarendon, right? And in that instance, I just reached out to an architect online and worked with him, and he just submitted, and that was it, right? But my advice also, what I learned from that experience, right? When you are going to approach an architect, you need to know that, for example, they're going to charge you in US dollars, right? And they charge per square footage, right? So, and that can be a bit expensive, right? So an advice I can give as a workaround to that is that you could go to your local parish council and ask them there if they know of anyone that does the drawings, right? And when you get that information from the parish council itself, you can be comfortable that they are going to recommend someone who is going to do a good drawing for you, and where you know that, okay, this drawing will be approved, right? And we know I'm a Jamaican, and, a lot of Jamaicans, people do build without drawings, but it is not recommended, right? It's highly not recommended, because there are times when people will in the area will report that you are building, and then you'll get a surprise visit from parish council, and then they're going to say to you, they're going to stop your work and say, listen, you need to get the drawing, or they'll say, look, you have to tear down what you have already built, right? So to just, get all of that out of the way, just go about it the right way, get your proper drawings and get them approved by the parish council.
Mm-hmm. I think you also want to think, though, if you do it that way, and Charmaine, as suggest, doesn't recommend that way, there's also a safety issue, right?
Definitely.
Because you've got to take the topography report, and the architect will design something that's going to fit that land undulations.
Right.
Imagine you don't take that into consideration. Maybe the contractor builds something that, could fall over in a hurricane, or isn't, properly leveled
Isn't
or
stable,
set.
yeah.
Yeah. So, it's so important, right? If you're going to, make that type of investment and build something, do it right. Spend a little bit extra up front, and then you won't have to rebuild it, tear it down, or there's going to be issues down the road, right? So the second thing that we thought we'd share with you is, not only did we hire the architects to do these drawings, right? And those drawings, will give you everything from, it'll lay out the square footage of the villa. It will include the electrical, the plumbing, everything and anything that a contractor would need to now actually construct that building, right?
Right.
The thing that we were really interested in, because we're not just building one villa, we, are looking.
The dream is.
We have a dream. We really wanted to think about what the end in mind would be for this dream. And the goal is obviously to get there. But, I find sometimes when you can really visualize that and make sure you're incorporating the end in mind, you're taking into consideration all of the things perhaps that you wouldn't if you were just thinking about building one property. And so we decided to engage the architects not only to do the drawings, but to do something called a master plan. And what the master plan is it really is the ability to give us that full vision of what our JamRock Villas boutique resort will look like if we were to get to the end goal of all 7 villas being built with a gazebo, with the pickleball courts, with everything taken into consideration, such as the views. So every villa should have a view of the sea. That's why people are going to go there. It's going to be spectacular. Number 2, a consideration of every villa should be able to harvest water. Every villa is going to have solar panels on it so that we can have off-grid, electricity and power because there's a lot of outages. We wanted to be able to see the entire thing come together in a 3D visual where you're actually going to drive through. And so you can actually, it's almost like you're bringing this thing to life. And so we really wanted to share that with you because I'll tell you, once we saw it, we were pretty excited about, what the end in mind would be. And so, for us, getting that master plan was certainly for me, it was an important part of the process. And yes, it is, more money, but I think it was a worthwhile investment for us to be able to bring the dream to life so that we can see, what this entire JamRock Villas, property would look like. And we certainly got that. From the visuals itself.
And the fact that we are starting off with one, right? The master plan shows strategically where the others would fall, right? So maybe we don't go to the same architect next time for the drawings for the others, but this master plan, it's there to guide whoever as to what the vision is, right? So I think this was a good way to go about it.
It was a great baseline for us, right?
Yeah.
And don't get us wrong. It's not like we're looking to replace the architects or anything. We, really, really enjoyed working with them. They're Matandra Clark out of Kingston. But each villa is going to be the same. The way that, this is designed as it sits today. So every villa is going to be 900 square feet. It's going to have a pool, and every villa will have its own privacy, views, as well as everything else that I've just described. Now, what if, though, we get down the road and we decide, well, actually, we kind of want one to be a 2-villa or a 2-bedroom. Then we have an option. We can either go back to Matandra Clark, which we may, or there's other options for us to do as far as getting, different, a different drawing from a different organization. The main purpose of this was to really help set the baseline for the villas and where they should be located. And then more importantly as well, the first villa is going to include the road.
Yeah.
And that is really important because, as you can tell by the other videos, we're going to need some access. And the first thing that needs to go in is this road up to the farthest villa so that we have proper access to start the construction. And so that...
so that's basically what we're going to start with. We're going to start with the road
Yeah.
and with one villa.
That's right. And that one villa is going to help us test a number of things. Number one, we're going to go get a
bill of quantities.
Bill of quantities. It's going to tell us how much is it going to cost for the material for this villa.
The labor.
And so once we get the first villa built, we'll know exactly how much it costs. And then we can figure out from a budgetary perspective,
where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here, right? Because sometimes you
do we stop here?
No, we don't stop here.
Do we stop here? Or
no, we find a way.
We find a way.
I mean, this is going to be really important so that we test what are the challenges in building this, because sometimes you think, oh, it's going to cost $50,000, for example, to build a villa. And then you find out, well, 900 square feet at the level that we want is actually 150,000. So we got to figure out how much is this villa really going to cost?
Definitely.
What are the issues that we're going to come across? Can we get those materials in Jamaica?
Yes.
Do we have to swap them out for different types of materials? Yes. Who's the contractor that we go with? Yes. Are they the one that we want to stick with, or are there issues?
Yeah.
Can we find laborers in Portland, or do we have to go elsewhere? So what does that do to the cost? So there's many of these considerations that we have to really learn from. But what we're sharing with you today is the start of
a dream.
And we're pretty excited about it. I know I am. And we're going to make this dream come true.
We'll work on it.
So we're excited to get your feedback. Continue to reach out to us. And before, I got to say, a big shout out to the people on the plane. Last time we were down there, I kind of felt like a celebrity because people were coming up to us saying, oh my God, it's Kathy and Charmaine. It's the YouTubers. So I got to say thank you for all of your feedback. You guys, keep writing your messages and giving us, some really good thumbs up and excellent feedback that we try to incorporate.
And you motivate us too, right?
Yeah.
Because we doing this video right now is because of the comments that you leave. So continue to do that and ask questions. We'll answer. If we can help, we'll help.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, take a look at the video. We're excited for your feedback. Big up on yourselves. And
big up yourselves.
Big up yourselves. And we'll look forward to your comments. And don't forget to like,
comment,
and
subscribe, and share with your friends.
Yeah.
Tell them about our videos.
Yeah, we love it. We love all the feedback. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to jump right into the master plan. This is the first draft of what we worked on with the architects. So you're looking at an aerial view of the land, where it is compared to the sea, the size of it. So it gives you a good sense of what we're working with. Now, this is the first draft of the vision. So all encompassing the villas, the gazebo, the road, pickleball courts, and the main gathering spot. These are the materials that we were looking to incorporate, from stone, wood, waterfalls, to really make this a true wellness area. This is the view of the front of the villa, which, as you can see, incorporates a pool, 900 square feet, 1 bedroom, with the design concepts and the elements of wood, water, etc. Now, with the slope of the land, we wanted a visual of what each of the villas would look like cut into the slope. And now as we move into the villas, you're looking at the design elements from that picture earlier. So fire, water, wood, tropical, zen, coconut trees, really utilizing the landscape and the materials as part of the design concept. So here is the actual video of the final walkthrough in 3D to really bring this to life. I hope you enjoy it.